I'm Sarah Carter. This is a documentary that I've been wanting to do for some time. What drew me to this topic is that the United States is in the middle of an epidemic, a national health emergency. I began my career covering the Mexican drug cartels like Sinaloa and other transnational criminal organizations operating in the United States. Later, I reported on heroin and the opioid trade while I was covering the Afghanistan war. While there has been some excellent reporting on this crisis, we're losing 115 people a day.
I'm Heidi Riggs. One of those 115 people was my daughter, Marin. The first time she used heroin, she smoked it. She said it was like seeing the face of God. Marin had a very caring heart, but she also struggled within herself, self-esteem, wanting to fit in. She never thought she was beautiful enough, and so she struggled with her weight. She was athletic and she was built like an athlete, but she always wanted that skinny girl body. She was bullied and she really struggled with that. When we started her treatment, we were told that less than 50% make it. 18 months later, Marin died 2 weeks after her 20th birthday.
I'm Chris Farrell, a former Army counterintelligence officer who served as a counterespionage case officer, and for the last 20 years, I've been the Director of Investigations at Judicial Watch. A couple of years ago, I was involved in a project called the Sun City Cell, focusing on how a narco-terror ring working with the Mexican cartels would move literally anything into the United States for the right amount of money, from drugs to people.
Which is a federal law for false official.
I first met Heidi at a briefing I did in Columbus, Ohio.
I listened. It was gut-wrenching. It was like someone punched me in the stomach. I had no idea how big the problem was, how evil it was, and the level of corruption. That night, I went from being a sad mom to being a really pissed off mom.
You know what? I'm a pissed off mom too. We're losing a generation to this epidemic. I feel like I've gone from reporter to joining people like Heidi, people committed to stopping this epidemic that is killing kids and tearing our families apart. And I'm determined to make sure our efforts are not in vain. Part of the reason we're in Arizona, Chris, is because you were so adamant that this was an important place that isn't covered enough in the media.
You know, this is really, in Arizona, the superhighway for narcotics, drug smuggling. You know, the zone that runs basically from, let's say, Aravaca, which is a town just northwest of Nogales, all the way over to Naco, has an enormous amount of drug trafficking, smuggling going on, besides all the illegal immigration and the human trafficking.
Why do you think these drug cartels utilize this passage so much?
You know, it's a broad swath of stuff. So you've got very sophisticated criminal operations that know how to move contraband. And whether that's drugs or people, they've got a wide array of stuff.
As they're traveling through, the cartels control the smuggling routes.
Robert Arce has worked both federal and local law enforcement. He served in both the Department of Justice and the Department of State. During one of his assignments, he spent 3 years in northeast Mexico, working the international narcotics trade.
Whether it's a human smuggling or the drug trafficking, you don't cross through those routes unless you are paying to those cartels. If you're a smuggler and you're not paying and you get caught, the sentence will be death. They will kill you.